We have the privilege today of sitting with Schyler Richards of Noorda College of Osteopathic Medicine. Schyler, it's great to have you on our chamber chat today.
Thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
We have lots of reasons to celebrate. We have a new year. We've got some great snow in the mountains, and just across the way from here, Noorda is building a brand new state-of-the-art building. Yes, we'll talk about that. But I wanted to get to know you a little bit better and maybe visit just for a minute about what brought you to Utah County, to the state of Utah, and in this new role at NoordaCom.
Yeah, I'm a native Nevadan, grew up in northern Nevada, moved to Las Vegas, and I was working there and at another osteopathic medical school. And my husband and I had started coming up here somewhat regularly because our daughter was a student at the University of Utah. And when she finished school and got married to a wonderful young man from up here, we found ourselves coming up more and more frequently, to the point that we got tired of staying in hotels and got a condo and came up at least once a month. So I was familiar with Utah. I was starting to really fall in love with it. And so when I got a call from the Noorda College of Osteopathic Medicine asking me if I might want to consider joining their team, it was an opportunity I jumped at. I'd worked with the dean, John Doherty, prior at our school in Las Vegas, and I met several times over Zoom because it was all during the pandemic with President Nielsen, and I was sold. And so it was the quickest and easiest decision. We moved up here in July of 2020.
Right in the middle
of COVID, and our house sold in Las Vegas in less than a week. And I just knew it was a sign that we were doing what we were supposed to do. And we are so excited to now be Utahns.
Yeah, wonderful.
So, what I love about working and living and just being in Utah Valley is there's a sense of pride. People are from here. They've watched it grow. They just have a love for this community. And it just comes across not only in your neighborhoods and at your businesses, but in that business environment, it just shows. And there's just something very unique and special that I've come to see and love. So,
what are some cautionary or perspectives that you might share with our audience and members of our chamber, especially having gone through that kind of growth in Las Vegas? What are we about to experience? What does growth look like from your perspective, having just been through it?
Yeah, Las Vegas experienced record growth, and then the recession hit back in 2008, 2010. And the one thing that became readily apparent was the lack of diversification within the economy. You just cannot build an economy based on one aspect of business. And so I think that is one of the ways that Utah Valley is very well positioned for the future, because what we're seeing is startups, established businesses, major corporations, all seeing the value of making Utah Valley their home for their employees and their businesses. So there's an entrepreneurial spirit here as well, that I think it's just this can-do attitude that, we can be anything we want, we can do anything we want. How do we make it happen? And so I think that we're looking at a very diversified set of businesses coming in that are going to just bode very positively for the state and for the county.
Tell us a little bit about the mission of Noorda.
Sure. So we opened in 2021 with our our inaugural class of students. And one of our overall mission is to create competent, confident, and compassionate physicians that are going to meet the community needs. And so one of the ways that we have really, I think, kind of shifted the dynamic in medical education is our overall approach. Much like Utah County and Utah Valley is looking forward, so are we. And the way that medicine has been taught needs to change, because the students today want something different. And the patients ultimately that they're going to serve demand something different. And so our approach is collaborative, it's group, it's no lectures, sitting for 2 hours listening to a professor talk. It's interactive, it's video based, but with hands-on experiences as well. And the other aspect is getting out in the community.
Yeah.
So I think that the way that we're approaching it is the way medicine needs to be today.
Yeah.
And I think this is absolutely the right place, and we're here at the right time, because with Utah's, and specifically Utah Valley's, dramatic population growth, and then you look at where we are, physician to population ratios compared to nationally, we're at or near the bottom as a state. And so we've got to find ways to get more of our local students to stay here for medical school, stay here for their residency training, and then ultimately meet those community needs.
Are most of the students from this Intermountain region area, or they come from all over?
Well, we have students from all over, but the majority are from the Intermountain West. And one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is that about 55% are from the state of Utah.
Okay.
And that was a goal.
Yeah.
That was an absolute goal for the Noorda College, was we have so many talented students. We have amazing undergraduate institutions here in the state of Utah. So many of them who wanted to pursue medicine were leaving. And once they leave, the reality is they don't always come back. And so if we can train them here, which was one of our goals in creating the Noorda College of Osteopathic Medicine, then we hopefully can keep them here, and they'll eventually stay in practice.
Tell us a little bit about the leadership here.
Sure. Yeah, so our president, Dr. Norm Wright, has been officially our president for just over a year. He served interim for quite a while, and he was actually a board member prior to that. And our dean, Dr. John Doherty, is nationally known within the osteopathic medicine profession, and really has been key to the success we've had in developing this. The other thing that I think they've done an excellent job at is exactly that, building a really strong board made up of community leaders and within healthcare profession and business, and who really have taken on the ownership and care for the development of this school, and they care deeply about its success. So,
and that building you mentioned to be ready this fall, it's state of the art. I mean, it's a beautiful building. It sits right off the freeway, easy to access. So it'll be ready this fall. What will it have that'll be unique and specific for the cohort of students that you have coming?
What makes it unique is it was built specifically with our curricular model in mind, which again, we're the only medical school in the country using this model where we don't have large lectures. It's short video content. So there's about, I think, 70 or 90 pods, what we call them. They're small living room-like rooms that have the technology in there, and the students go in and they work collaboratively. We also have lots of technology with simulation, holodeck, the artificial intelligence equipment, augmented reality equipment, to again try and teach our students the way medicine is going for the future. So we'll also have an on-site clinic, so we'll be able to serve the community. But it really is, we liken it to, we're kind of at the south end of the Provo area, and our hope is it becomes really just a landmark gateway to the community and to like almost a medical technology corridor that can be developed here in Utah Valley.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
As we were touring, we noticed the number of gnomes that are sprinkled throughout.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about this mascot.
So this is our official mascot. We are the Noorda Gnomes, and his name is Norm L. Genome or Gnome. And, it happened just on a fluke. A faculty member brought in a gnome. The students kind of started adopting it. We started putting them up everywhere, and it became our official mascot. So
normal genome.
Yes, normal genome.
Norm. Okay, very good. That's awesome. What is it that Schyler Richards still has yet to complete in your career? What's left undone for you?
you know, I feel like I've achieved so much, and I'm really grateful for the experience. And one of the reasons I'm so looking forward to working with you in the chamber is, you know, how do we, in today's business environment, get younger professionals engaged?
Yeah.
I think that that's something I would like to see. I am blessed with a team of young professionals that are amazing. And so how do I mentor and guide them and transition them to be engaged in policy and be engaged in advocacy work, and really seeing that they have a role in the future of our community. So that is a major goal. And then specifically, they're all women.
Yeah.
How do we engage
Yeah.
women and help them see, as they move up in their personal lives, that they can have it all,
Yeah.
that they can be a mom and a wife and pursue their career goals. So,
Well, they have you to look at as a living example of that,
Oh,
and I
thanks.
think that there's no better teacher than experience.
yeah.
And as you share your experiences with those students, that you'll be able to teach more through that example than you will from anything that you do in front of a classroom or a whiteboard, right? So we're so excited to have you serve as our board chair in 2024. So this year you're chair-elect. Next year you'll be in the role as our chair. And we're looking forward to having even more Schyler Richard. And we're grateful that you'll share your time and your talents with the
I
chamber.
am so excited. I'm so honored. And I cannot wait to work with you and the board and the whole chamber membership to see what great things we have going forward.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. Schyler Richards is a force of goodness. She is spreading goodwill wherever she goes and lifting where she stands. And so we're so grateful to have spent a few minutes with Schyler. Thank you so much for your
Thank you.
time. Good to be with you.
Good to be with you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.